Toyota has been hiding something big, and when I say big, I don't mean a small improvement or a fancy upgrade they show off at auto expos. I mean a battery that could flip the entire electric vehicle world upside down. For years, everyone kept saying the same thing. Tesla is the king, Tesla is ahead, Tesla decides where the EV world goes. And honestly, it looked true. Tesla had the hype, the fan base, the technology updates, the spotlight. But here's the crazy part. No one realized Toyota was quietly doing something else entirely. They were competing for the future, working in silence, and silence is dangerous because you never know what's coming until it hits you. While Elon Musk was talking about the 4680 cells, posting progress updates, showing prototypes, and building expectations, Toyota was doing none of that. No flashy tweets, no big conferences, no dramatic teasers, just pure engineering behind closed doors. Engineers testing cells, breaking them, rebuilding them, starting over, failing, and trying again. They didn't even want attention. They wanted results. And now those results are finally out. And the EV world is in shock. Because what Toyota has created isn't a step forward, it's a leap. A leap so big that Tesla might need to rewrite its entire strategy. Imagine this, an electric car that can travel more than 1,000 miles on a single charge. Not 300, not 500, 1,000 plus miles, the kind of distance that makes road trips feel like nothing. No charging stops, no range anxiety, no I need to plan my whole journey around chargers. Just pure freedom. And then imagine charging this battery not in hours, not even in half an hour, but in around 10 minutes. You plug in, grab a coffee, stand for a moment, and boom, your car is ready for another 1,000 miles. And the wildest part, this battery doesn't care about weather. Freezing cold, still performs. Burning heat, still stable. No fire risk, no swelling, no thermal runaway. It just works. If it sounds unrealistic, that's the exact reaction the industry had. Most experts said, it's impossible. Solid-state batteries are too unstable, they degrade too fast, they're too expensive, scaling them is a nightmare. And maybe they were right 5 or 6 years ago, but Toyota didn't stop. They solved problems one by one. The reason the industry is panicking now is simple. Toyota didn't just build a solid-state battery, they built one that actually works. Consistently, safely, efficiently, and if they can get it into production, it changes everything. Here's the part that blows my mind. Toyota never wanted to be first in the EV race. They weren't chasing hype like other companies. They were playing long-term. They already dominated hybrids with the Prius. They practically invented the mainstream hybrid game. And when everyone rushed into EVs, Toyota stayed calm. They said the world wasn't ready for mass EV adoption yet. People laughed at them, called them slow, called them old school. But secretly, Toyota was preparing a weapon, this solid-state battery. And now, suddenly, their slow approach looks like the smartest move they ever made. The industry assumed Toyota was behind because they weren't releasing new electric cars every year. But now it looks like Toyota was simply preparing for the moment when their technology would be so powerful, so far ahead, that catching up would be nearly impossible for others. And that moment might be right now. The biggest question people are asking is, how did Toyota actually pull this off? Because companies like Samsung, Ford, GM, even startups like QuantumScape, everyone tried. Everyone invested billions. Everyone announced timelines. But no one reached a stable, scalable, long-lasting solid-state battery that can survive real-world use, except Toyota, or at least it looks that way based on the prototype data. That's why the tech world is going crazy. It's not just the range or the charging time, it's the fact that Toyota made a solid-state battery that doesn't fall apart after a few cycles. That was the biggest problem. And if Toyota has truly solved that, we're looking at the beginning of a new EV era. Now let's talk about what makes this battery special in real terms. Solid-state batteries replace the liquid electrolyte, the thing that moves energy inside the battery, with solid material. And that tiny change changes everything. Liquid electrolytes are the reason batteries overheat. They're the reason EVs catch fire. They're the reason performance drops in cold weather. They're the reason batteries degrade faster over time. Replace that liquid with a stable solid, and suddenly those problems disappear. But making that solid stable is insanely difficult. That's why this technology has been stuck in labs for decades. Toyota figured out the chemistry to make it stable, safe, and strong enough to use inside a car. And here comes the plot twist. Toyota didn't just make one type of solid-state battery. They've been testing multiple versions, different materials, different structures, different combinations. Their engineers weren't trying to make a perfect battery, they were trying to make a practical one, something that can be built, scaled, and sold. That's the real challenge. Anyone can make a breakthrough in a lab, but only a few can take that breakthrough and mass produce it for millions of cars. The moment Toyota revealed their solid-state plans, investors, analysts, and automakers went crazy. Because this wasn't a vague promise. They gave timelines, they gave performance numbers, they showed prototypes, and they talked about manufacturing. That's where everything changed. Suddenly, it wasn't just hype, it was a real possibility. But here's where things get even more interesting. If Toyota actually brings this battery to market by 2027 or 2028, Tesla's current advantage shrinks overnight. The 4680 battery that Tesla has been pushing heavily starts to look outdated. Slower charging, lower energy density, higher thermal risk, and shorter lifespan. Tesla would still be ahead in software, design, and charging network, but the core technology, the battery, would belong to Toyota. And that's a shift nobody expected. What makes Toyota's timing even more dangerous is the state of the EV industry right now. People love the idea of electric cars, but they hate the reality. Slow charging, range dropping in winter, batteries aging after a few years, charging stations always full or far away. And then there's the fear everyone carries deep down. What if my battery catches fire? It's rare, but the thought scares people. Toyota's solid-state battery doesn't just improve these issues, it eliminates them completely. That's why experts are calling this the next major leap in transportation after lithium-ion itself. Let's be honest, if you've ever talked to an EV owner, they always say the same thing. It's good, but the range could be better. Or, charging takes too long. Or, I hope my battery doesn't go bad in a few years. These worries don't disappear with software updates. They disappear with new chemistry. That's why Toyota's breakthrough feels so huge. It hits the three biggest pain points in one shot: range, charging time, and longevity. And when one company solves three major problems at once, the entire market pays attention. But let's rewind a bit. Why did Toyota stick with hybrids for so long? Why didn't they rush EVs like everyone else? The answer is simple. They didn't want to build electric cars around the old technology. They wanted to build them around something new, something worthy of Toyota's reputation for reliability. And hybrid cars gave them time. It let them stay relevant while working on the battery that would take them into the future. While other companies competed in the present, Toyota was preparing for the next decade. The moment Toyota revealed they had cracked the durability issue of solid-state cells, analysts couldn't believe it. Durability was the main problem. Solid-state cells used to die after a few charge cycles. They looked amazing on paper, but in real testing, they fell apart. Toyota solved that. They found a way to stop the internal breakdown. And that single achievement lifted them above everyone else. Because once durability is solved, everything else becomes possible. Long range, fast charging, higher safety. It all falls into place. But here's something people don't talk about enough. Toyota isn't just a car company, they are a manufacturing machine. A global giant, one of the best mass producers on the planet. They know how to make millions of cars with microscopic precision. That matters a lot because solid-state batteries aren't a marketing challenge. They're a mass production challenge. You can't win this race with labs, you win it with factories. And Toyota has the factories, the experience, the suppliers, the logistics, everything. If someone can scale a new battery technology, it's Toyota, and that's exactly what scares the competition. Because Toyota doesn't need hype. They don't need announcements. They need one green light, just one, and the world will be flooded with solid-state EVs faster than anyone expects. Toyota has spent decades perfecting production efficiency. When they enter a market properly, they dominate it. That's why the EV world is treating this like a warning. Not because Toyota is loud, but because Toyota is capable. Now imagine this, it's 2028. Toyota unveils its first mass-produced solid-state EV. It's not a luxury car, it's not a limited edition model. It's a normal, everyday Toyota. Affordable, practical, reliable. Suddenly, people don't have to worry about range. They don't have to worry about charging. They don't have to worry about battery degradation. Overnight, the EV experience doesn't just improve, it becomes superior to gas cars in every way. No noise, no vibration, no pollution, no maintenance, and now, finally, no range or charging problems either. This is the moment Toyota is aiming for. A moment where buying an EV becomes an obvious choice. A no-brainer. The kind of shift that doesn't happen slowly, it happens instantly. That's why competitors are worried. Because this technology doesn't just make Toyota's EVs better, it makes every other EV look outdated. And when that happens, customers switch fast. People love good technology, but they love convenience even more. Give them a car that lasts longer, drives farther, charges quicker, and stays safer, and the market automatically shifts. And let's talk about safety for a minute. EV fires are rare, but they get a lot of attention. Every video goes viral, every news headline sounds dramatic. But the truth is, lithium-ion batteries can ignite under certain conditions. Liquid electrolytes are flammable. Solid-state batteries remove that risk almost entirely. No liquid, no leakage, no thermal runaway. For families, safety is everything, and Toyota knows this better than anyone. They built their entire brand on trust. A solid-state battery fits that identity perfectly. Safe, predictable, reliable. There's another hidden advantage too. Solid-state batteries stay stable even when they get older. Lithium-ion batteries degrade, everyone knows this. Your phone battery dies faster, your laptop loses charge quicker. EVs face the same issue. After 5 or 6 years, range starts dropping. Solid-state chemistry reduces that problem massively. The battery stays stronger for longer. The range stays consistent. The performance stays steady. For consumers, this means less maintenance cost. For Toyota, it means more long-term trust. And for the industry, it means trouble. Now let's zoom out a bit. Imagine being Tesla right now. For years, you led the EV world. You built the best fast-charging network. You launched the most efficient electric cars. You redefined automotive software. And then one day, Toyota walks in with a battery that goes 3 times farther, charges 3 times faster, and lasts twice as long. That's not competition. That's a shockwave. Tesla will have to respond. They can't ignore it. They can't pretend it doesn't matter. And they know that building a solid-state battery isn't a small project. It takes years of research, billions of dollars, and a lot of trial and error. Tesla is great at innovation, no doubt, but Toyota is great at reliability and manufacturing. This battle isn't about showmanship. It's about who can bring the most practical, scalable, safe battery to the masses. And right now, Toyota looks like it's holding a powerful card. But there's one more twist in this story. A twist people are ignoring. Even if Toyota perfects this battery, even if they build it on a large scale, the world still needs the infrastructure to support fast 10-minute charging. And many countries aren't ready. That's where Tesla still has a huge advantage. Their supercharger network is unmatched, widespread, reliable, everywhere. Toyota will need to either build their own network or partner with someone. Otherwise, people will own a supercharged battery without supercharged charging stations. But Toyota knows this. They're already planning partnerships. They're already talking about upgrading networks. They understand that a powerful battery is only as good as the ecosystem around it. And once Toyota commits fully, the world tends to follow. The most exciting part? Toyota isn't stopping with cars. Solid-state batteries can go into drones, planes, bikes, buses, trucks, everything. This could change transportation entirely. That's why governments, investors, and scientists are all watching Toyota's every move now. Because the company that controls the next generation of batteries controls the next generation of mobility. This isn't just about cars, it's about the future. Here's something people forget when they talk about Toyota. This company doesn't take risks casually. When Toyota steps into a new technology, they don't test it on a few fancy concept cars. They build it for the masses. They build it to last. They build it to work the same way on day 1 and on day 2000. That reliability mindset is exactly why the solid-state battery breakthrough is so believable coming from them. If any other company had announced this, most people would call it marketing. But when Toyota says they've cracked durability, the world listens, because Toyota doesn't like overpromising. If anything, they underpromise. And that's what makes this moment even more special. But don't get it twisted. Solid-state batteries still have challenges. Making one battery that works is easy. Making 10,000 identical ones is harder. Making a million, that's where real pain begins. Small impurities, tiny cracks, uneven pressure, these microscopic issues can ruin the entire cell. And when you're producing at massive scale, even a 1% manufacturing error becomes a disaster. Toyota has spent years solving these manufacturing problems. They redesigned the internal structure, they changed the electrolyte composition, they created new production methods, they even built specialized equipment just to handle this battery. That dedication shows how serious they are. The world keeps asking the same question. Will Toyota actually launch a solid-state EV by 2027 or 2028? And honestly, the answer looks more like yes every day. Their own executives have confirmed multiple times that mass production is the goal. They've shown progress, they've shown prototypes, they've invested billions, they've partnered with materials companies, they're building new battery factories. Everything points toward one direction: launch. And when Toyota commits at this level, they usually deliver. Now let's imagine what a Toyota solid-state EV might feel like. No range anxiety, no battery overheating, no waiting at chargers, no performance loss in winter. Think about how different daily life becomes. You don't check the battery percentage every time you leave home. You don't plan your trip around charging stations. You don't worry about long-term degradation. And because the battery is safer, insurance becomes cheaper. Maintenance becomes simpler. The entire ownership experience feels cleaner, easier, more predictable. Basically, everything people dislike about EVs almost disappears. And this is why the industry is on edge, because Toyota isn't trying to beat Tesla in one category. They're trying to fix the whole concept of electric mobility. Tesla made EVs cool. Toyota wants to make them complete. Imagine a world where charging feels like filling fuel, fast, easy, effortless. That's Toyota's vision with solid-state batteries. And if they hit it, people won't choose EVs because they're eco-friendly. They'll choose EVs because they're simply better. The rivalry becomes interesting when you look at Tesla's position. Tesla has momentum, brand power, and a massive charging network. But Toyota has stability, scale, and advanced battery tech. It's like watching two champions from different worlds suddenly fight in the same ring. One is fast and loud, the other is calm and precise. And now both are aiming for the same target: the future of electric cars. If Toyota succeeds with solid-state batteries, Tesla's biggest advantage, its range and charging performance, could disappear overnight. But don't think Tesla is sitting quietly. They're pushing hard on new chemistries. They're experimenting with dry electrode manufacturing. They're expanding gigafactories. They're looking into high silicon anodes. Tesla knows solid state is coming. They know it's the next step. They just haven't publicly committed to a solid state timeline yet. But trust me, the moment Toyota launches, Tesla will respond. And that's good for consumers, because competition forces innovation. But here's the twist: Toyota doesn't even need to beat Tesla to win. They just need to release a battery that makes EV ownership easier. Most buyers don't care about brand wars, they care about convenience. A car that goes 1,000 miles, charges in 10 minutes, and lasts years without issues, that's a dream product. Toyota knows this. They know what families want, they know what long-distance drivers want, and they know the emotional weight of the word reliable. If Toyota creates an EV that feels as dependable as a Corolla but performs like sci-fi tech, it's game over. Now think about industries outside cars: aviation, drones, delivery fleets, solar storage, emergency power units. All these sectors are desperate for safer, lighter, longer-lasting batteries. Solid-state batteries could transform every one of them. Airlines want lighter batteries for electric planes. Delivery companies want batteries that last longer and charge faster. Even home solar users want batteries that don't degrade after a few years. Toyota's breakthrough won't stay limited to cars, it will spill into these industries too. The ripple effect is massive. And then there's sustainability. Mining lithium, cobalt, nickel, all this takes a huge toll on the environment. Solid-state batteries can often use different materials. More stable, less wasteful, more recyclable. Toyota has been focusing heavily on recycling and sustainability because they know batteries are the future. And if you're building the future, you can't ignore the planet. But the most fascinating thing is the public reaction. When Toyota first mentioned solid-state batteries years ago, people didn't believe them. Most thought it was a PR trick. Now the narrative has changed completely. People are excited, investors are watching closely, journalists want updates, engineers are analyzing patents, and competitors are nervous. It feels like we're standing on the edge of a new chapter in transportation, one that might begin the moment Toyota flips the switch. And trust me, Toyota loves flipping switches quietly. One day, nothing happens. The next day, the world changes. They've done it before, and now they're about to do it again. At this point, one thing is crystal clear. The solid-state battery isn't just another upgrade. It's not a small improvement that gets added to a spec sheet. It's the kind of breakthrough that forces every company in the EV world to stop, rethink, and rebuild. And Toyota reaching this point is no coincidence. This is the result of years of silence, years of testing, and years of refusing to follow the crowd. Everyone else rushed into the EV race like it was a sprint. Toyota treated it like a long game. And now, that patience is finally paying off. If Toyota pulls this off, if they actually launch a mass-produced solid-state EV, everything changes. Charging anxiety disappears, range becomes irrelevant, safety becomes stronger, batteries last longer. The EV experience becomes easier, smoother, more reliable than anything we've seen so far. And suddenly, the decision between a gas car and an electric car stops being a debate. It becomes obvious. You choose the one that takes you farther, charges faster, and stays healthier for years. You choose the future. And Toyota wants that future to start with them, and make no mistake, the rest of the industry will feel this impact instantly. Tesla will respond. Other brands will push new tech, the battery race will heat up. But Toyota has already taken the first step, and first steps matter. They set the direction, they set the pace. And right now, Toyota is pointing straight toward a world where solid-state batteries are the standard, not the exception. A world where EVs don't need excuses. A world where electric cars finally feel complete. Maybe this is the moment the EV industry has been waiting for. Maybe this is the shift that takes us from experimental electric cars to electric cars that dominate roads everywhere. And maybe, just maybe, years from now, when people talk about the turning point of the EV revolution, they'll look back at Toyota's solid-state battery and say, yeah, that's where everything changed. If you want more future tech breakdowns like this one, don't forget to subscribe. Big things are coming, and you won't want to miss what's next.